My name is Corey Clark. I'm a PA and recently had the opportunity to go on a mission trip here with the other Parksiders, and we had the great privilege of going to visit our mission partner, Mission of Hope International, over in Kenya, where we had the opportunity to assist their medical team in health screenings for many of the children that we, as at Parkside, we get to sponsor, including children that some of our mission team sponsored, and we had the opportunity to work alongside them, see members of the community, and also see many of the children that the Mission of Hope serves each and every day at Milimani School in Molo, Kenya.
So something that I got to help out with was I was working with someone there who has medical experience, and we were doing like a head-to-toe evaluation of the kid, kind of looking at like their eyes and their fingers and arms and legs and everything, and just seeing if they're healthy or not. And then I got to help a lot with recording data and just to make it go faster and smoother.
One of the interesting parts as a medical person was that they start at age 4 in this school, in the Milimani school, and pretty much most of the schools, 4-year-olds, and they were tiny. They looked like maybe 2 to 3-year-olds to me. Most of them are malnourished, so the moment they first get them in the school at age 4, they immediately assess them. So we were doing a follow-up assessment 6 months after their first one to see if they are actually growing and starting to, get a little more healthy, because if you're very malnourished, your immune system isn't very healthy, and they will pick up more colds and all sorts of things.
That really stood out to me was the welcome that we received. I have traveled to several different countries in the world over the years, and I've never felt so welcome as I did when we were in Kenya. The people at the schools, the children have a huge welcome for you when you arrive at their school. It's almost like a big parade, and they're celebrating and they're singing and they're dancing, and they bring you flowers, and we hold hands with the little ones, 4 to 5-year-olds, and we kind of march in as the children are singing and dancing, and they were just really happy to see us. One thing that we learned was that the Milimani School, where Parkside sponsors children, they only get 2 visits a year from outside groups, and we're one of 2. And so that really impacted me, because I realized we have to come back. If we don't come back, they're only gonna have 1 visiting team for the whole year. So that really stood out to me and made me realize we need to keep this going. We need to keep visiting them, because it really made a difference for us, but also for them. They were really excited to see us. They were really happy we were there. And the children were just amazing, just smiling and waving, and they'd peek out of their classrooms to see us and wave to us and talk to us whenever they could. And the staff were very welcoming and just so gracious and humble, and it was really neat to see their faith. And I've never felt as welcome in any other place as I did there.
And Zeke, our little adopted boy, you say, he I don't think he said a word the whole time. I tried to get him to talk, but he was very shy, like Sarah said. Mm-hmm. But just holding his hand, walking the road that he walks every day with his group of kids to and from school, and just walking to his house. We got to visit with Grandma, told the story of her life, but also as she's talking, other people in the community are coming in, and then suddenly it was a downpour of rain, so we kind of got stuck in the house for a while with, 15 people in a tiny room. Like, well, now what are we going to do? And Matthew Highfield had a deck of Uno cards, so we taught him how to play Uno in the pouring rain, and then here come the chickens, because they want to get out of the rain, and they're kind of running around, and it was just a really,
It was special.
It was pretty cool.
It was.
Yeah, I think anytime you go on a short-term mission trip, there's a kind of a two-way road. We want to be a blessing, but we also in turn are blessed by the people that we're there with, and so it's inevitable that God is going to be working through us and also through the other people. So there's definitely growth that happens, and sometimes you don't expect it, sometimes you don't know, exactly what that looks like, maybe even until you get back home. But just seeing the way, they worship God, the same God that we worship, the way that they relate to Him, the way that they pray to Him, just kind of gives me a whole different perspective and a different way to relate to God, and it's just a wonderful thing to be able to see different cultures, different people groups, praying in different languages, and we're all worshiping the same God.
The whole experience that we got there in terms of being alongside our Kenyan brothers and sisters in Christ is really incredible. I think one of the most impactful things about going on a mission trip and being immersed in a different culture for even as short a period of time as a week really helps to get a new perspective on God, because oftentimes we only see God from our view and our life circumstances, and people live and exist in totally different circumstances than ours, so they kind of see a different angle of God that we don't oftentimes get to see, because God is an infinite God who we can't fully comprehend in this lifetime. And so their culture sees God in a different way from ours, which is so unique and beautiful, and really points to ultimately something I look forward to one day, is being in heaven and all of us all worshiping God together in unity the way that the Bible talks about. And so I think going on a short-term mission trip like this gives you just a little tiny glimpse of that while you're still here on earth.
It's in the Bible, in Matthew 25, Matthew 28, we're called to serve. And whether you go to Kenya or whether you go to Eastern Kentucky or wherever you go, I think it's a calling, a reason, a showing of our faith and our commitment to love God, love people, and help others do the same. You really should think about, in whatever manner, whether it's a 2-week trip to Kenya or a 2-week trip to Western Kentucky to support tornado damage. I'd strongly encourage. I believe you get as much, if not more, out of the trip than the people you're actually going to serve.